Russia will never come back to the West as it was, never again. Sorry to say that, I'm not happy with that because Russia is too close to Hungary. You know, and the Ukraine, what is basically again the problem, you know, the Russians accepted in a very difficult way that Central European countries like my home, Hungary, became member of NATO. They always criticize that move, saying that it's unfair because it was promised. Nobody knows exactly whether did it happen or not, but it was promised that the ex-Soviet Union dominated territories will not join NATO. But we did. Good for us anyway. And the Russians started to live with that. In that concept, Ukraine was the buffer zone between NATO and Russia. And then now, as we started to incorporate more and more Ukraine, first at the military level, developing their army, then even at the diplomatic level to speak about the possible membership of Ukraine to NATO, we converted the buffer zone into a war zone. So it's not anymore a buffer zone. That's the problem. And it's history. It's not about 1 or 2 decades issue. So how we imagine the territory between the NATO and Russia, how we call it and how to manage it, how we provide the future for the people and the territory. So these are the real big and difficult challenges ahead of us.
One big change.
You know, when we jumped into the war, that was always my argument to the Westerners, that don't consider that war as our own war. It's not a war of the West. It's a war between 2 Slavic nations, a brutal but a brotherhood war. Russians and Ukrainians. Isolate them, help them, but don't say that this is our war. That's exactly what you have done. Basically, Biden president came to Warsaw and said, Putin must fail. Guys, it means that you are in the war. So why we have done it? Nobody knows the answer of that, you know. So it was a very short-sighted idea. Probably they thought that they could weaken Russia. I was always sure at the very first moment that a war will make Russia stronger than it was prior to the war. That's our history. First World War, Second World War. When they start the war, they are weaker. As the war is going ahead, they are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That's the lesson of the Hungarian history.